Well, howdy everybody on the internet. This is Steve, 1,000-Year Homes. So today I was asked to undo a 1,000-year project. So let me show you what I got going on. Well, listen y'all, when you put posts in the ground, not every post has to be engineered with structural integrity, right? Like, so the owner here put in a new corral and asked me to pull out the old post. That is way too much. I understand there might have been a little shed here, but that is way too much. So I got a little mystery flag. That's probably another one of these. Yeah, another one. One there. So what'll happen is the animals will, as they trample this all out and gets muddy, they'll break a leg in that. So anyway, you can over-engineer some stuff, and that was certainly over-engineered. Let me go ahead and put you down while I pull in here. I'm going to try to pull this old oak tree out too at the same time. We'll find out. Might be biting off more than I could chew. There are 1 trillion posts in the ground right now doing their job without any cement at all. Well, that oak tree wins. That's what oak does. It wins. I said I was hoping that the termites or something had gotten in there enough to weaken it up that I could dig it out and pull out with my little tractor. I have moved out stumps, but they've got to be a little rotted, and I have to be super patient. And that one's not going to. Furthermore, the tap roots, the big roots, go underneath the slab. And so, you know, their sound is a pound, and I'd worry about cracking the slab. So I'm just going to push in the huge, it's so ridiculous. The huge, I'm just going to push in the huge post, poured concrete. None of that was necessary. I can always tell the old guy who built this house, his stuff when we run into it. It's way engineered, way more than anybody else would. I don't know what he did for a living, but he loved his concrete. Everything is that way, real hard. All right, let me fill this in. The other thing I should point out, I've dug down 3 feet, and it's still sugar sand, which means no moisture. This is really, really rough. Really, really rough. I'm tired of the heat, tired of the dust. It's just something. All right, let me fill this back in. All right, I found one more of those posts in the ground. Let me dig it out, let you watch. I won't fast forward it, I'll just let you watch. They're nothing but a trip hazard, as all these are. Well, I thought I could just use that, turn it around, dump it back in that hole, but I'll still have a trip hazard. So there's a burn pit over here. I'll just scoop them all up, throw them into that burn pit. I'm mostly successful over here. Getting a little on the tired side, I'll tell you. Looky everybody, I came over to do tractor work and it's already done. Looks good. Real good. You're getting good at the tractor.
Oh, I don't like it.
You don't like it, but you're good at it. Well, nobody does. It's dangerous.
It's hard work.
It is hard work. When you're done with it, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're tired.
I would think I was faster by now.
Yeah, you did good, Destiny. Man, boy, my daughter is a skilled worker, isn't she? I didn't fill this in. I came to do it today and it was already done for me. Graded, looks amazing. I think she's just fibbing me when she says she doesn't like tractor work, because she's darn good at it. And what else did we do? We got this all cleaned up today. This was a trumpet vine. I'm gonna bet you that was as old as the house, don't you think? 40 or 50 years old. Yeah, and then she got such a great deal on that windmill, but we pulled out all the extra ones where the wolf is and put it up around there. That looks great. Good bit of work. We're waiting for somebody to come pick up that oak, and if nobody does, I don't know, I might cut it into firewood for you. Well, I've got my little tractor back home. I'm going to be working on it before the rain comes. I want to dig out a pond a little bit. So, but let's talk about those over-engineered fence posts. Listen, y'all, people get bored of fences, right? They get tired of looking at it. It looks run down. They do not want fences that cannot be pulled up and replaced. In addition, even if you cement it in, if the cement's not just right, the rain will build up on it and rot out the log. And then you just have a big cement hunk in the ground that you can't get out conveniently. A little bit of concrete around a fence post that's going to hold a gate, or a lot if it's a heavy one, right? There's places to engineer, but most fence posts can go straight in the ground. Just preserve them. And I've got a little video link on how to make a 100-year fence post without all the extra over-engineering. It took on those 4 posts. Come on, 3.5 foot down. One of them was like 18 inches around. Several hundred pounds of concrete to hold a post. Over-engineering. So all right. So now I'm back home. Let me talk a little bit here. So I'm building a house that I say will last 1,000 years. But listen, the way I'm doing that, like the windows right there, windows don't last 1,000 years. Windows last 100 years or so, maybe even less if the seals give out. So what makes that 1,000-year window? Well, the simple that I've got it all framed in, and with 4 screws, anybody can pull out that window and put in a new window, a hurricane window. So in 1,000 years, this window will be needed to be replaced maybe 5 to 10 times, depending on what happens to it. So same thing with the doors. All of these, everything you're seeing here can be easily serviced. My plumbing will be easily serviced, right? And I'm not going to hide it in places behind a big, thick brick facade where if it leaks, it ruins everything. It'll all be accessible. I'm still going to use PEX, although copper, I think, is a better product. We'll see. Theoretically, PEX should last longer. So that's what's making this house a 1,000-year house. Plus, I've got the Corten, and I'm going to wrap it. On the top, I'm going to use iron oxide and barium in the concrete so that it cuts down on UV ultra radiation. So if there's a nuclear bomb, I'm covered, or if there's a solar flare, I'm covered. Those kind of things. So, but try to engineer if you're, unless you're building crap houses like Meritage or some crap corporate knock 'em up subdivision. They don't care. But if you're building a house, try to build it for the next guy that's got to come after you. Put in the valves that stop the water. I've got conduit and all of this thing. So if somebody one day gets a shorted out, melted electrical outlet, you'll be able to pull new line without having staples all over the place and everything. Won't be a demo job for somebody to run new electric in this thing. Try to think about the next guy. Those fence posts sure held up for that fella. All right. So let's say he put them in right when he built that house. That house was built in the early 80s. That's a long time, right? 48 years, 50 years, maybe. But the next poor fella that wanted to get them had to have me come over and pull the cement out of the ground. And my daughter went in, and she's a hard worker. She went in and smoothed that like glass. So you can't over-engineer. Don't over-engineer. Take it easy on post, right? Just all you need is cement where the gates are and the corner post where the tension is weird. That's the only place you need to spend money on concrete, by and large. The rest of it, you can just ride right into the ground. You'll be okay. All righty. Like, subscribe, follow me along. Bye.